Alright guys, we're going to go through the attacks from our guard now in terms of guillotines and arming guillotines, which are really our two main finishes from there. So there's some important concepts to understand about when I'm on my back trying to get these chokes. The first thing, and probably the most important thing to realize, is when you're on your back, you're not going to be able to adjust your grip. Okay? So if let's say I connect my hands here and I get the guillotine, I can't really upgrade my grip on the guillotine. So if I've got a shitty grip, I'm not going to finish from here. Okay? The change in so especially when Tim's defending and he's got his arms in and blocking, if I don't have it right, nothing's going to work. Okay? So where we're doing our grip exchange, and what's important there is actually when we're up. Okay? So even if I set up the choke from guard, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get up for a moment, okay? And then I'm tightening it here, okay? I don't sit down until it's tight. Do not sit down until you know that they're already choking a little bit. Now I can go down. I don't have to adjust my hands. I have to adjust my leg positioning and make sure everything else is correct, and I can finish. Okay? And that applies for arming guillotine and regular guillotine. Way too common to people sit down with a shitty grip. They grab, as soon as their hands are connected, they sit, and then they're trying to adjust their hands. This won't work. You will not get your guillotine. A lot of the time, the person's gonna slip out. Okay. Now we need to think about, so obviously, when I say we're doing setups from guard, in reality, we're doing guillotines. We're setting up by getting up back into that front headlock, and we're sitting straight back to guard, and that's where we're going to actually apply the finishing mechanics. Now, there's a good side and a bad side to be on when you're going for the guillotine. So let's say just a regular guillotine. It applies to arming guillotine as well. If I've got Tim's head here like this, and Tim walks around to my right, he's like side on. So now you can see, do you see my forearm now from here is on the side of his neck? I can squeeze and it might be annoying to him, but this is not going to finish Tim from here. So I want Tim, if he jumps on this side, now you can see his neck is right in the line of my forearm, and I can finish the choke. So I'm always looking to get Tim on this side of my body when I'm doing the guillotine from guard or arming guillotine. Another important point, I need to be very similar in terms of the principle, but I need to be on my side, on my right side here like this. Let's say I go for the choke here, and even if Tim's on that side of my body, if he can walk my hips flat, very hard for me to apply the choke correctly. I always need to be out on my right hip, like this, okay? This is where I'm gonna finish from. So, when you're getting the choke, you need to be on our side, curling in and squeezing like this. Very common mistake is to try and arch your back like you're trying to pull their head off. You're flat, it won't work, and it's very likely they're going to slip their head out. Okay, so some of the ways Tim can defend here, so he can go to my bad side like that, which we want to stop. One of the ways we stop that is by putting our inside hook here like this to stop him moving to the side. But he can also potentially roll out. Okay, so if he rolls this way, now, yeah, that's right. He can end up all the way on the good side when he does that. But if we go back, even just by rolling, now I don't have the mechanics to finish a guillotine. There's other options when I've got the arming guillotine, which we can go for. But if he rolls to here and he's blocking my hips, there's a gap here. I cannot finish the guillotine effectively from here. So I want to ideally stop him rolling, or at least be able to track him when he does roll. And what's going to do that is my top leg. Okay, so I'm looking to catch here. Okay, so now when Tim rolls, I can follow him, and we can finish from on top. First entry is just going to be from seated guard. This is definitely one of the most common ways to set up the guillotine from here. Like anything, I need his head to be down. If he knows that I'm going for the guillotine, it's going to be very difficult to get. He needs to be worried about other things. So I like to, push at the legs, start attacking arm drags and so on, and I'm focusing quite low here like this, okay? Then we're just gonna snap the head, okay? We're gonna snap the head. Now there's two ways to snap the head and catch the chin, and that is using the same side arm. So I can push and get the chin, or I can go opposite hand and feed it through to this hand. So I can use my left hand to feed it to this hand, or it can be my right hand to feed it to this hand. Now, you'll notice I get up as I do this. You won't, as I said earlier, but you won't get a proper guillotine grip going and then trying to fall. You can see his head's already about to slip out. I'm gonna lose everything, okay? Because I'm generally low down on I need to get my shoulder over the top, around here on Tim to actually be able to effectively finish. So we'll be here, and as I'm ready to do the head snap, I'm getting my feet in position, ready to actually bounce up. Okay, I'm actually up now in front headlock, and then I can go to sit through to block. Okay, let's have a look from this side, because I want to have a look at my leg placement a bit better. But I'm going to step out to the side and block Tim's hips from walking this way. Like this, okay? Whether this is an arming guillotine or regular guillotine. Try and walk to your right now, Tim. Okay, good. Again, if we go before, common mistake is to sit down, and then he's already moving now, okay? So he's already ready to go across and get around, okay? Sometimes they'll even be blocking your reaching out for your leg. Like this, you have to like step back past it and then go around, okay? And then we're gonna try to catch up high near the hip, not down here, because here's okay, but he might step over, yeah? Whereas here, there's no way he steps over my leg, he's caught, okay? From here, next movement, the leg's going over the top of the back, we're doing our side curl and finishing, okay? Also, we'll have a look from this angle, but I wanna make sure Tim's head kind of like falls in a little bit like that as we go for it. I don't want it getting stuck on the ground. That can, sometimes if you put the head straight down to the ground, you lose your ability to curl sideways. So just watch from here. So catch the chin, whether it's an arming guillotine or not, but watch his head. I kind of like roll it in like that, okay? I bend it, and I've got a good side curl and squeeze to finish. If I fall straight to my back and don't curl in, if I go like this and his head's down, I actually I can't curl in now, his head's blocking that. Okay, so while his head's, we want to keep his head kind of off the ground, and we're curling that in, and then rolling it through to get a nice deep grip and finish. For the entry for the from closed guard, we can go for the guillotine as well. Often this is going to be set up by like a hip bump or a Kimura setup. Okay, so we're here, Tim's seated. I'm going to sit up here like this, and then as he goes to defend the hip bump, I can circle around and grab the chin. Okay. If he does the wrong thing, I can finish here. Okay, but I would almost always be trying to move my hips back and come back up to what is essentially towards a front headlock position. I maybe don't have to get up, but I have to get my shoulder, my chest like over the top of his back. So if I try to, if you defend and I try and finish here, like he's probably gonna pop his head free. Okay, I need to keep this over, post my hand behind me, and start scooping my hips back, getting up, and sitting through. Okay. Classic mistake, trying to go for it when you don't have good enough control. All right, so again, when we set it up from here, we grab the chin, we want to post behind us, and we start trying to get up, and we're in a good position now to sit through and finish. I'm in close guard here and I'm trying to finish the guillotine. There's a reason why I don't think close guard is the best position to do this, and that is, as I said before, one of the principles is I want to be on my right side. If Tim walks to his right and puts me on my left side, here it's actually quite difficult to finish, especially if he's got some sort of grip on my hands, okay? And it's hard for me to stop that from here, okay? For a close guard, I'm actually better off trying to open my legs and get my hips out on my side. And I even like to take my inside leg either across or as just a hook. If I can find room to, if I can get this foot as a hook to stop him moving to his right, to try and move to the side now. Now I can stay on my side, okay? Always keeping him out there, and I can actually finish the guillotine correctly. So a common problem you'll encounter when you're going for the guillotine is that the head will slip. You see this a lot in MMA. Tim pops his head up like that, okay? Now that may be because I'm doing the technique wrong and I'm trying to arch my back here like this. This gives him a good avenue to slip his head out, okay? If I'm curling sideways, that should be very difficult for him to do. Assuming I actually had a good grip to start with. So I could have a good grip, I fall back, and I lose the head, right? If I go straight back. But if I curl to the side, that's very difficult for him to free his head from that, okay? So this should actually very rarely happen when you actually have a good grip. But it can happen also. Maybe I didn't have the best grip and for whatever reason I'm falling back. You know, I shouldn't actually sit down without a good grip, but maybe he's taken me down and I had a crappy grip here like this, and it could be starting to slip even though I'm trying to curl, okay? So as soon as you feel the head's gonna slip, you need to abandon the guillotine and get back up and try and get up to the front headlock. So Tim's slipping his head, I need to get back up and get my shoulder over the top, here like this. We've now reset, I can get it in proper position and finish, okay? So when the head's slipping, sit up, keep your shoulder over the top, and we're ready to continue from here. Really good position. This is a common theme, but if Tim tells me he's feeling it more of a neck crank than a choke, like I think it's good every time you finish your submission to ask your training partner, was that a choke or a neck crank? Because you want to, ideally it's a choke. Like sometimes you can say a tap's a tap, but ideally you're actually choking them, because if it's a neck crank and it's competition, maybe they could tough it out a little bit. And at the same time, you don't want to be injuring your training partners, which is probably going to happen if all your chokes are neck cranks, okay? And I reckon most of the time when people injure their neck, it's because they're like, you know, essentially in closed guard or even open guard, but they're trying to pull the person's head off like this, yeah? And Tim taps, it's like, you know, a lot of stress on the neck. Maybe I'm arching my back as I do this. I'm really bending and pulling his neck away like that. That's wrong. It should be a slice, okay? So what we want to be doing is this, curling in and slicing. And it should just be a nice choke, okay? So ask your partner, and if they say it's neck crank, that there's a fair chance that's the reason.
First one's we're definitely.
We have a different strategy for when I've got the head and the arm compared to just the head, okay? When I've got just the head, it's not necessarily beneficial to bring Tim over to this inverted position, because I don't necessarily have a great ability to finish, and I might not have his arm here as well, okay? But if I've got the head and the arm, this is a much better position to finish from. And this is actually generally an upgrade, because I can look for my anaconda choke, which is very high percentage, okay? So in the scenario that I can't get on my side, let's say I've got the head and arm for now, okay? I cannot get on my side, Tim keeps flattening me out, okay? Let's go back to our original grip actually. So our foot position was here, and Tim keeps managing to flatten me out, and I can't finish this, okay? So what I can do then is I look to get like a butterfly hook. If you keep going that way, Tim, what I'm gonna do, I start lifting. I'm just gonna go back over like this, and I'm gonna end up in a mounted guillotine here like this, which we can finish. We'll go over the mechanics of that in the section from on top. But to get there, as Tim walks to the side, I just put my foot as a hook, get on my side, and I start to lift It's this way, okay? If we go back. Sometimes he balances for that, okay? So I get the hook, but he's well balanced. 2 hooks now, okay? So now I get 2 hooks, flatten out, and I'm gonna go straight over my head this way. Both feet. And we're now in this inverted north-south position, ready to set up our anaconda choke. So actually, sorry, so go here, walk to the side. Balance now. Sometimes you get your guillotine grip. As you're going to sit, Tim gets a really good grip on your hands, okay? So he's just like, it's enough that you can't finish, okay? So you can see that even when I get everything in position here, like there's no way I'm gonna be able to squeeze and finish this, okay? I can't adjust his hands here. I've got nothing to move that. If I let go to change my grip or do anything, he's just gonna peel that straight off. So I wanna keep my hands connected and I wanna bring him to inverted north-south again. So we're here, I'm gonna bring my feet underneath and I'm gonna start lifting to kick him over. Okay, so now he's holding on, but we'll go over this more in a later section, in the inverted north-south section, but now I can use my legs to peel his arm away, okay? And I can still set up my choke. Now, for that, actually, you going?
Yep.
Yep. For this scenario where Tim's holding my hands, I can actually hook sweep him in any direction. Because both of his hands are connected, I can get my hook here and I can go this way, okay? And I can run through. Or, if he squared me up a bit, I go over the top, okay? And we catch it. Or, if we go up again, I can bring him to my left as well, okay? So I can hook sweep this way. For that one, I'm actually gonna try and dive my head underneath so Alright, so we're going for the guillotine with just the head, so we don't have the arm in here. And Tim's managed to get 2 hands onto my one arm. Now, it's very hard to change to a better position when you've just got the head. Okay, so if I sweep Tim over, but I've just got the head, this is very difficult to finish and he's probably gonna get out. So what I'm gonna try to do instead in this position is I want to try and switch it to an arm in. He's holding my arms like this. I have to try to just wiggle my hands enough, even just to free my hand here and get it on top of the chin. Okay, so I just want to get a chin strap again. Maybe I'll do it while we're up here, just to show the hand work, but we're here. I've got to find a way to slightly hand fight. So I'm using my wrist to just break his grips a little bit until I can get a hold of the chin, okay? And then I'm gonna try and reach over the top and connect my hands here. Now, he's gonna have hold of my hand still, okay? So we're here, I've had just the head and I've managed to free my hand and grab the chin. And look at where his elbow is. When he's defending, he usually will have his elbow wide because this is a good way to stop me putting pressure on a guillotine, okay? So when I remove my hand, I should be able to come over that gap. And then I connect my hands together here. Now he's on my arm already. I'm not gonna choke him from here. There's no way. But now I've got that arm secured, I can start reverting back to our original strategy to take him over. But now I've got the head and the arm, my anaconda and everything can start dealing with the grips. This time I've gone for my guillotine and we'll do just the head for now. But Tim manages to go to the bad side. So we go like this, and Tim manages to walk around to this side, okay? As I said before, next to impossible to finish this, okay? So let's go early. If I see this coming, he's blocked my leg and I couldn't stop him with my leg. My next best, so obviously this leg and this leg could both stop him from going that way. But Tim's beaten both of that, usually by grabbing the outside leg, like this, while I've still got the head, okay? So if I can, now I want to do the Marcellitine. I want to put my left elbow in front of the shoulder, here like this, okay? This still wedges his neck into my arm, okay? So I have to stay on my right side for this. Tim walks around, and I just push my elbow forward and pinch, okay? So this, if you watch, because there's a pressure there, if you put your hand there, Tim, when I push my elbow forward, it levers my hand back this way. So it actually levers the choke and gives me pressure for the choke. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. I'm pushing my elbow forward and that will pull pressure into the choke there like that. So if we have a look again. We're here. As I feel Tim's beating my legs, I get my elbow over the top and I stay on my right side. Okay. Tim, once he's here, I just push forward and that levers the hand right into the choke to finish. Now let's watch what happens when I end up on my wrong side. So I want to be on my right side. Look at this. Okay, Tim passes. And if I go to my left hip, you'll see that elbow slipping. I've lost it. I cannot from my left hip. Just keep your arm there. There's no, just keep it there. There's no way I get my elbow over the top from here. So when I want to do the Marcellitine, I have to have been on my right hip the whole time. I have to be here, get the elbow, and I stay on my right hip. Okay. From here, that's where I finish. So what do I do if he passes to this side with the arm in guillotine, but I can't get on my right hip and I can't get this over the top? So maybe sometimes Tim will reach over the top with his right hand to stop my elbow coming through, or even just even if he's just tilted me onto my left hip like that. What I'm going to try to do, I go to the chin strap, try to block his legs from walking around, and I try and walk all the way out and come back up into the front headlock position, ready to reset and go again. So now I can sit through, stop him from going to that side, and finish. Okay, so again, we're here. I got the chin. Tim manages to walk around and get me on this side. Block, walk, come up, and then we make sure that he cannot go to that side when we finish. Guys, don't just hold on to the guillotine. Like if they pass you, and I'm trying to squeeze still, this is a very bad idea. Okay, this is where I get von Flue choke. Okay. So you can cross-face choke and finish it. With the arm in guillotine, you don't have the luxury of going for the Marcellitine. So what we're going to do when Tim passes to the side, here like this, we've got two options. This can be really good if I get the right angle for it. I should walk a little bit this way. But because I've got the head and the arm, I can trap his arm a little bit by keeping my elbow tight. And I'm going to pull this elbow really tight here like this. So Tim, try and stay in side control. I'm going to walk underneath him and we end up in our inverted north-south. So if I can show the action for this, I have to have like a lot of like rowing upwards with this arm to really turn his shoulders, because if you get the wrong angle, if your elbows get flared, this will not work. Okay, so if I'm here and my elbows are out like this, there's no way I turn it. I've got no power. Okay, so what I want is my elbows tight here like this. Okay, walk around now, Tim. My elbows are tight towards my hips, his arms are blocked. I bridge him over, and we've now got a chance to go for the anaconda. So again, elbows are tight, but he's managed to get to the side. That's fine. We walk through, we're pulling with this on his head, and we spin our head underneath through to inverted north-south. Now, if your elbows are flared, like this, and Tim gets around to that side, again, we're going to bail. We go to the chin strap, we block the hip, and we get back up. Okay, and then we can re-attack arm in or arm out guillotine. sometimes when you're going for the arm-in guillotine, they will reach to peel. Look at my grip like this, right? So I've got my choking hand, it's covered by my non-choking hand. Sometimes they'll reach to this one's the easier one to peel off, right? The non-choking hand. Sometimes they'll peel that off, and if they keep hold of that, you are not going to finish your arm in guillotine. So you can switch to the guillotine, to the just arm out guillotine. So sometimes we're here, and Tim, if you turn a little bit, you see it's easier for him to reach my left hand, the top hand here. Pull this one, other one. Yeah, and he peels that off here, okay? So sometimes that will happen, all right? And I want to switch to just a regular guillotine. Now there's a problem here, because as soon as I take that out, he's going to grab my hand, right? And he's going to peel it off, yeah? So what I do, as he's peeling that off, I'm going to reach this right hand all the way deep. I'm going to poke it through the gap, yeah? So you turn a little bit to face you. He's peeled the non-choking hand off. I cannot finish the arm-in guillotine, so I'm going to poke my right hand through this gap here. There's a really deep guillotine now. Try and peel my right hand off now. You see he's got very poor ability to control that. So now I can switch to over, out, and we can start to finish that choke from there. So I'm going for the guillotine. I'm curling in, everything's looking good, but Tim manages to roll his hips away, okay? And this is just the regular guillotine. And now he's gonna end up in north-south. So how do I block that? Especially when I've just got the guillotine, this is not generally a good thing, okay? So I have to be really quick to catch over his back. And I'm gonna curl like this. I really have to curl my hamstring, because I wanna follow him up to mount, and I wanna finish from mount. Like this. Now, it's not enough to just put your foot on the back, okay? If you go here, like that, he's gonna slip off it. See that? I really have to get right across the back, so go back up. Yeah. My foot has to catch here, and it has to curl down. Right across onto the far side of his body. So now, when I'm curling with that, and he rolls, I'm gonna follow him and finish. And the same applies for the arm-in guillotine. Okay, so we need to think about this when we're actually sitting for the guillotine. That, especially if you feel they're trying to block your hips, that usually means they're waiting to roll, okay? So if he blocks my hips, he's gonna, yes, that's right, okay? So if you see them reaching for your hip, don't sit for the guillotine. You have to clear that grip first. So we're here, I have to like move it out of the way. Even, just get your arm in front for a moment, and we go, and then we catch, yeah? I know he's gonna roll. Too late now, I got him, all right? Now with the arm in, it's exactly the same. We can do the mounted guillotine from the arm in. I catch here, and we roll over the top, and we finish the choke. But the added bonus is, if Tim does roll, I miss it, we go to here and we're fine. We're now in the inverted north-south, and we can continue our attack for the anaconda. Okay, so again, another reason why the arm in generally is better, because it has more follow-up attacks. You get the arm in, Tim rolls, and I spin underneath. Okay, here we are. Catch the arm, finish with the anaconda. we're gonna link these techniques. So for the just regular guillotine without the arm, I want to make sure that he can't move to the side. But if he does get me flat and I go to the side, then we're looking to get go all the way. If he does manage to get there, we're going for our Marcellitine, or we're recovering. Okay, so we recover, grabbing the chin, and we're getting up. Okay. If I'm always trying to use my hooks and my legs to try to keep him out on this side though. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my hips far away, so I'm using my legs here, hipping out. And then I want to stop Tim from being able to roll. Okay, so that's one of his other main defenses, is he rolls or forward bridges. So I want to really catch over the top of the back, and that's going to keep me connected. Okay? If I'm losing the head, I need to follow him back up. So if Tim's posturing back, I need to chase him back up, readjust, and we sit through and finish. And if he's fighting the hands like this, and he's got really good grips on my arms, then I really want to try and go back to the chin strap and start trying to get the arm in grip, and then we can start working from there. From the arm in grip, basically any time it goes wrong, we can start trying to reset to the anaconda and deal with the problems from there. Okay, so I've got the arm in with the guillotine. Obviously I can finish, but and I can follow if he rolls this way. So, but if he's keeping me flat and I'm finding it harder to finish from here, I want to start using my hooks to get him over. Once we're here, we've got everything to set up from there. We go back. If he rolls away like this, we can spin that to the inverted north-south and work the anaconda. If he passes to my bad side, I can keep tight, really, and we end up ready to attack the anaconda again. So go for the finish. If you're struggling at all with their grips or the direction they're going, start thinking about switching to the inverted north-south. All right, so we're going through setting up the arm-in guillotine and attacks from on top of half guard. For me, this is one of the highest percentage areas to attack from. Yeah. So our main options are, we can go for the arm-in guillotine here. We can go for the Japanese necktie. We can go for the das. Often if they underhook, you can go directly for the das, or even attack the guillotine as well. There's a few important concepts that we want to focus on here. One of them is, I don't want Tim to be flat. Okay, so if he goes flat on his back, it's really hard to attack and get underneath to attack anything here. Okay, so I need to actually be getting underneath him, and I'm almost going to actually invert when I'm doing all the guillotine style attacks. I actually want to almost be inverted while I'm attacking from here. So I'm reaching for the head, but I'm diving under, and I'm actually turn. Sorry, just turn a bit more. But I'm actually almost in this position, like so. Okay, so still technically on top in half guard, but I'm trying to keep him from being able to flatten that out. I'm almost putting my head underneath to make sure his back can't go flat, and I can start setting up all my grip changes from here. Now, it is important that I want to be, from here, I'm almost always trying to free my leg, okay? Because this can then set up rolling through to the inverted north-south. I can set up the guillotine. And I don't want Tim to be able to get like trap my knee. Yeah, if he traps below my knee, he can really like pull me in and make it hard for me to attack from here. Okay, so I'm always looking to free my leg, and you can be using your other leg as well, but trying to get your leg free and point your knee up towards the roof from here. I'll go through some of these things in more detail. When I'm going for the guillotine, to enter for this, I always want my knee free here, like this, okay? It's gonna be very hard with my knees trapped to actually get far enough to reach him. All he has to do is extend a little bit, and I'll never catch his head. So a very common area I go for is when they've got the Z guard here like this, so this leg's pushing in. Tim feels like he can push me away with that pretty well, which he can. He can push on my hips quite well. But I'm gonna like hover over the top like this, okay? And as I go for the chin, so I'm gonna reach my hand over for the chin, I'm gonna roll my hips off to the side. So I actually go here and I roll my hips. Okay, if you look at that from another angle, you'll see he loses his, he loses his contact with the knee shield. So right now that can push me away. As I go forward, I roll off the knee shield. So now he's got nothing connected there, and I've got a grip around the head. Now, the first grip I go for, I'll turn around again. I wanna make a, actually I don't grip the chin so much in this one. I just make a fist and I keep it really tight, close to the neck. But you see here, it's very easy for Tim to peel that off and get rid of that grip. So I actually want to land with my my body on top of Tim's head. This is really good as well because it means it's really hard for him to get his back flat on the mat. Okay, so we've got pressure there. He can't flatten out, and I can start to invert underneath to attack. So we go again. We're here. Go from the knee shield. I'm going to come over the top. I'm going to punch underneath. I get that grip, and at the same time I'm dropping my weight down through my ribs on top of his head. Like this. I want my hips kind of far away. Yeah, like this. I don't want to be close to Tim. Yeah, it's going to be much harder to set anything up here. I want my hips to land quite far away. Like that. And then we can start digging for our grips. So, again, we're here. I hover forward as Tim pushes. Roll over the top. And then, almost always, they're going to try to deal with your grip. Okay? So you're going to come over the top. We're going to connect our hands together, like so. So I come forward. We're here. I'm going to keep my chest really close here, like this. So look at Tim trying to dig my hand out. And you can see, like, my hands are really wedged between his chest and my chest. It's really difficult for him to get that, okay? But he's going to go for it anyway. And I'm going to come over the top, collect his arm, and connect to my own hand, like this. It's actually kind of hard for him to use this bottom arm. It's kind of like stuck on the ground. So he's forced to basically be defending with this. And almost always they'll give you a chance to catch the head and the arm here like this. Another common entry, if Tim goes for an underhook or goes for a single leg from here, either one, we're just going to go straight for the, we're going to try and connect our hands immediately. And see how I'm starting to get my chest like over his back? I want to keep that space. So I'm actually going to, when he does this, I want to roll through like this. Okay, so I'm almost in the inverted north-south position, but he's still got my foot trapped here like this. Okay. Again. All right, so sometimes the person's a bit savvy that you like your guillotine. So they start like framing and stopping you getting close. Okay, so if I'm trying to dive at the head, you'll see that's going to be a very difficult task to do. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to deal with this frame and immediately dive to the head once we deal with that frame. So what we do, grip the wrist here like this. I want to like pressure forward, and I want Tim to be actually pushing with that arm a little bit. I want it to be like, yeah, I want to feel that upward pressure. Okay, I'm going to grip the wrist and pass it here like this. Okay, so I grab the back of the shoulder and I like duck my head to the other side. Now there's no frame, right? So immediately I've stopped him from rolling his back to the mat. I'm going to dive over the top and I'm going to keep this holding tight like that. Okay. From here, depending how he defends, I can come over the top, or I can just keep this grip for a moment while I set everything up. So Tim's defending well, he's framing, very hard to get at his neck. So we're going to go to the wrist and to the shoulder. Fall and roll underneath immediately. So see how I invert immediately underneath. Okay, don't fall to your side with this one. Do you want another angle?
Cool.
All right, so we did our original entry where we managed to catch the head and fall to our side. We've connected our hands here like this. Now it's next to impossible to finish an arm in guillotine just from here. Okay, it's just, I don't have the right angle. In fact, if Tim rolls on top, we reverse his position, so he's on top, you'll see he's actually on the wrong side for me. Like he's on the side that he wants to be passing to. So if we go back, I have to recognize that. And I really wanted to get my right leg over the far side, okay, like this, which is where I can start to finish the guillotine from the mount. The mount is where we're going to finish the arm in guillotine from. We're not going to finish it when we're trapped in the half guard here. Now, to do that, I need to actually be able to do this, Tim needs to be like turning into me at least a little bit, okay? If his back goes flat on the mat, I will not get a mount. Even if I free my leg, I won't get a mounted choke, okay? Because I'll never end up high enough to finish. So I need to have him turning in so I can actually catch like over the top of his back, like this. All right, let's have a look at how I free my leg. If we turn around. So the time when we finish the arm in guillotine is a specific scenario when Tim's actually turned in towards me, okay? Like this. So, I've got my knee here. I try and point it towards the roof a little bit, and my bottom leg's gonna go flat. And I'm gonna either use my toes or my shin as like a counter pressure to free my foot, like that. So hold on, Tim. If he's holding nice and tight, if I can get my toes in, this is really strong, I can push and free my leg. Yep. And I'm gonna swing my leg over the top. But I need to invert as I do this, okay? So if I come up into mount like a regular mount with my head up, I will not finish this. This is next to impossible, okay? So what I want is to tuck my chin. Come around this way. So as soon as I free my leg, I try and get my shoulder and head behind his back, like that. I tuck my chin, and I'm gonna step over like this. Okay. Now I've actually got the ability to finish from mount. Look how high my hips are. I'm not mounting low. My hips are gonna help me to actually put pressure on for the choke. All right, so let's turn around again. There's some more details here. We've landed here, like this. I wanna get my left leg high. So I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna try and move it over the top of Tim's arm, like that. Now, with my hips high like this, I can drop my hips in and squeeze, and I finish the choke. So, I can show that from here. We've tucked our head, we've come over the top, my elbows are tight, and my hips are like pushing in and helping put pressure into the choke. That means his head has to, and my hips have to be like over his head. If I'm low like this, and I'm trying to squeeze, it's very difficult to get the right angle. So I'm like actually kind of inverted and dropping my hips in to finish this choke. All right, let's have a look at that again. Just here, and fall to the side, catch. I free my foot and Tim's on his side. So I swing that over quick and catch. Tuck my head, and I bring my left knee over the top, and then as I squeeze nice and tight, we finish. Okay, now, this is really important. My hands are tightening up. Okay, Tim, feel me try and tighten up my grip here. Kind of difficult to do, right?
Yeah.
When I've moved my hips away, like this, I actually have a good angle now to like push my hand into his neck. Okay, I'm actually tightening with my hips like I'm almost about to fall over the top. And if I do, that's not a problem either because we go anaconda. But I lift my hips really high and I tighten here. Then I drop in and finish. Okay, just like any guillotine, you can't tighten once you're here. Once everything else is in position, really hard to tighten my arms and finish. So if you get stuck here, if you're trying to finish and it's not working, it's probably because you haven't tightened it first. Up, tighten, finish. Okay, so when we do that with the roll, I'm out to the side, I free my leg, my hands are already starting to go tight, I roll my head over and my leg, but I'm tightening my hands here. Now, it's all just mechanics from the body to finish. Alright guys, so we managed to get to the mounted guillotine, but for whatever reason, you're not choking him. Maybe maybe he's holding my hands a little bit or whatever. So one option, if he's blocking my hands really well, is to roll through to anaconda. Okay, so all I want to do is I want to make sure this arm's trapped. So I'm going to actually keep my elbow tight here, and as I roll, it means he keeps his elbow's going to be available for my leg. Okay? And we go through to anaconda. So again, we're in the mount, it's not working. My elbow has to lock tight, and then I roll so he can't like flare that elbow out. Okay. One way he can defend the anaconda is if he puts the hand on my hip here like this and keeps it there, because I never trap the arm, right? So before I roll, I actually want to be locking that in. So again, I want to pull my elbow tight to my body to block that, okay? Then from here, we roll, try and put that elbow out. You can't stop me from trapping the arm and finish. sometimes you feel like you've almost got the choke and you just need to tighten it a little bit. So you're here, you kind of come through really high, but it's not enough. If I want to adjust my grips, I want to lean to my left and bring my hips back up again. Okay? So I come up, I adjust my grip from here. Then I drop my hips back in and I can finish. Okay, so again, Tim might be blocking a little bit, but I feel like I'm pretty close to choking. Don't try and adjust here. Move your hips away. Adjust from here. Okay, I'm on my side a little. It's now tight on the neck. When I drop my hips in, he's gonna choke. All right.
Yeah.
Last one. Sometimes, as we're doing this, I'm trying to get my left knee over the top. All right. So we go around the other side. As I'm going for the mounted guillotine, I'm trying to bring my knee in and over the top of the arm. Sometimes they're defending the choke so well, to defend the choke, that I can actually just switch this to a triangle. So I keep his head, bring my leg across, and we're now attacking a triangle choke from here. So all I'd say for that one, like you want to get your leg fully out before you let go of the head and the arm. So I'm keeping this all tight, and I'm trying to get my leg fully free, okay? Now that it's fully free, actually I probably even want my legs locked here. So I wouldn't let go of the head yet. I'll try and roll in, okay? Because here you can't defend anything with my legs, and I can start trying to like tighten up my triangle now and start to finish. All right, so a lot of the time, like as I said, if Jim's trying to turn in, that's great. In fact, sometimes he'll even turn in and I just go straight for the guillotine if he really wants to come on top. But even if his back's exposed, I can at least go for mount. But sometimes, instead, he's actually trying to roll his back flat to the mat. Okay? And as I said, my chance of doing the arm-in guillotine now is very, very slim. I want to beat him at getting his back to the mat. Once he's here, all the chokes are really hard to get. Once his back's flat on the mat, all of them are really difficult. So I need to get my head and shoulders and everything underneath him before that. So when you first land in the position, if I feel Tim's trying to get his back to the mat, I'll often be using I use a few things. I'll use my chin. I'm using my weight on his head to try and stop him turning. I'll be pulling on this arm. I'll sometimes have my chin here, and if I've got an underhook, I'm pulling back as well. And this is all just to buy me enough time to get my head through that gap when I need to. So if I've got the underhook, for example, and he's trying to go back to his back, go, I want to get my head down, and now I'm in good position. Okay. Now I can actually start to lock up my hands and then work to free my leg. While I'm trying to keep him here, let's say I don't have an underhook, I'm also trying to link my hands from here. So all we're doing, trying to reach through and connect just like our regular guillotine grip, like this. Okay, so we get here. Once I've got that, I need to be getting like right underneath his back and trying to free my leg. So Tim, you keep defending. I'm gonna put my head down, and I'm like, I'm like inverted, okay? So actually on my like upper back, here like this. Try and hold on to my leg now. Tim, so he's gonna keep hold of my leg. He knows that's gonna slow me down. Can use like a hook, kind of like a butterfly hook, to start freeing my leg, okay? And once we're there, I'm already using my elbow to block this, to try to stop him from defending the anaconda, okay? Because once we're there, we can start setting up the anaconda nice and good. Okay, so start thinking about setting up the anaconda early, which means my elbow is gonna start like blocking a little bit. Okay, so what I mean by that, if my arm's too deep, like this, as I roll through, Tim can keep really tight against my hip here, and it's hard to block that arm. If we go back, because that's because my arm's here, I want my forearm actually to be like in front of the elbow to stop him flaring that elbow as early on. So if we go again, when we reach through, I might have to go deep to connect my hands, but I actually want to like, as I'm rolling through, I want to be pulling my elbow back out and locking against that hand, okay, against his elbow here. Stop him flaring that arm. Okay, now I can start to clear that across. Yeah, even when he had the hand on the hip there, when my elbow's in, like I can move my hips and that will start to free the arm, and I'm going to trap it for the anaconda. So again, we come through, we land here like this, nice and close to our chest, connecting our hands together, rolling through, and we're trying to get our elbow a little higher on their elbow, free our legs, and then we're working to attack the anaconda from here. If Tim blocks my initial choking hand, so this hand that's around the neck, say he's blocking that, right? I'm not going to be able to get the anaconda or the arm in guillotine from here. So I have to immediately be thinking about the Japanese necktie or the das. So what I'm going to try and do, even though he's got my hand, my elbow still has an ability to control Tim's posture. So I'm going to try and pull his head towards me with the elbow. I'm happy to like free my hand from there. That doesn't matter now about this hand. And I have to have this one over the top as an overhook here like this. Once we're there, I can start to slide my forearm, from my tricep to my forearm. It has to keep him with a bent neck, okay? Look up, no way I connect my hands. okay? So it has to keep him bent, and even when he's trying to extend here, it's keeping him bent, and I'm reaching my right hand through until they connect, okay? So this is bending the neck, this one's my shoulders turning and going through until my hands connect. Now we're ready to finish the Japanese necktie like we did before. So we get our stomach over the back of their head, keep them trapped in the half guard, scoot in and squeeze. So again, if the choking hand is blocked like that very early on, we're still getting our overhook. We're curling the head, sliding our forearm back, connecting our hands like this or like this, shooting through and finishing. If you got long enough arms, of course, even when you switch to the das here, okay, so let's say we got like this and you wanted to do das, I can't open and then go. He's gonna lift, imagine he's gonna want to pull his head back the whole time. I have to slide my hand down until I can grip my bicep here like this, okay? So there's no chance for him to extend his neck, and then we can go over the back, roll in and finish the das. You want to see one with the head, with the choke? All right, so quick overview of our options from the top half guard. So once we catch the head here like this, obviously I want to keep my chest nice and tight, make it hard for Tim to catch, and I got my hips away. If he tries to roll on top, I'm looking to either free my leg and catch the guillotine from here, that's great. Or even if his back's exposed, like this, once I free my leg, if I can catch his back, I can go for the mounted guillotine, and we could finish from there. If Tim's trying to roll flat to his back, okay, so as he's going back like that, right, I want to roll underneath him. I can't let his back go to the ground, that's going to be bad. So I'm going to roll through like this. I'm going to try and get my elbow tight to block his elbow, and I'm going to kick my leg free, like this. And we're going to roll. Our aim now is to catch the anaconda, so I'm going to trap the arm, come across, and go for the anaconda choke. And if he blocks this arm, so these are all assuming that assuming that my left arm can actually go deep. Now he's blocking that arm. We're now going to start switching towards our Japanese necktie or the Das. Okay. And in your initial position, when he sits up for the underhook, you can make a choice here. If you really have long arms, you can be a Das guy. Okay, this is a really good position to set up the Das. For me, I find that more difficult. I prefer to dive for the head and the arm and try to roll through.